Alright, let's check these out. So a while ago, I mentioned a couple times I go to Sprite Resources, and I found they actually uploaded Little Inferno sprites. And I thought, you know, what if we make an actual Little Inferno book? And if this sounds familiar, that's because I talked about it in like 2017 or 2018. And it took a while to make. And I'll show you guys why. But also, I made a couple of these little things from Little Inferno, like the Weatherman card, and like his photo, and the letter. I was just messing around with some of the other sprites. And then, like, here is this shipping coupon token. I forgot what they're called. It actually is handmade by yours truly. This was a lot of work. I'll try to go over how I use the sprites and everything. So, like, for example, this is just available, and then this binding I made myself. You just use a hole puncher and just... I'll leave a link to this binding. It was just on Amazon. You buy it in bulk. I don't know where you could buy just like a couple, but just try looking around. And this just happened to work. You could use whatever you want. I just thought binding kind of fit the game as much as possible. So yeah, this texture is just available. And if we flip it over, I had to make this by hand. So this backing, I believe, was also available, but this is from the intro. So I added that to the bottom there, and then Tomorrow Corporation. And then Collect All 7, these are just the different fronts, and then, I don't even know if you can see it, but I added just kind of a little glow there to make them pop out. Collect All 7, that's, you know, the font from the game. Also the font, I don't know if anyone has made a font. I had to use it from a font sheet. I'll put a picture up here, I'll try to. So that was not fun to go through every time. So this, I thought would be cool, so each book has its combo on the back, and I just took this just directly from the game, and then there he is, find combos and get stamps. That was also textures from the game, and thought that was cool, that each book would have this on the back. Now I only have 2 books because these were really hard to make. They took like 40 or 50 hours total in Photoshop and then actually just making them. So let's go through them. So if we open it up, I didn't make it double-sided because the game didn't seem to be double-sided. I tried to make it as close as possible. But each of these pages, I had to make by hand because I could have used screenshots, but they just weren't looking good. So I kind of recreated these. So like, this was a texture, and then I had to remake this texture with the different colors and stuff, and I tried to get it as close as possible. I had to line up all these letters from the font sheet, and then all of this stuff here. These are all individual textures. I'll try to upload the PSTs so you can mess around with them, maybe make new pages or make a new book. But if we go through, it has the normal full amount in the book. It's just, this turned out so good. I'm so happy about it. If you want to print it out, description below for a download link. I'm just so happy how each of these pages... Now, I think the bus is one of these. There were like a couple total. I think the octopus one... I don't know if I could... I think that might be in the other book, actually. There were just a couple pages where I couldn't recreate it faithfully, so I kind of made it look a little different than it usually looks in the book. So if we find it, we'll get to it. But yeah, all of these textures were from Sprite Resources. Those guys are amazing. They really helped me out. Then the second book I made a while ago. This one is newer, and see it has more combos. So like Tetris, I think, was one of them, or Tetrominoes, where I had to kind of improv. Let's see here. Pixel Pack, I think I had improv that too. Because it's also in the game, these are actually moving, so it's hard to just get a good still. There it is, the octopus. So I think it had more opacity and bubbles, so I just had to improv that. But it still looks good nonetheless. So if you like this video, make sure you check out Sprite Resources. They really were the legend that helped me make this. actually possible. It has been so long of me working on it, trying to figure out what to do with screenshots and stuff like I did for the Papers, Please books. And this is just so much better actually having just the sprites, so then I could kind of scale it and resize it myself, and it actually looks a little bit better. I'll see you in the next video. See you later, everyone.